Hello everyone, I am Sanjay Gupta. I welcome you on Sanjay Gupta Tech School. So this is day 34 of Salesforce Learning Bootcamp, and today the topic which we are going to discuss is sObjects as data types in Apex. So we are learning data types, and yesterday also we discussed about primitive data types, and today we will be discussing how we can use sObjects as data type. So very warm welcome to everybody. Good evening, good morning. I know from different location folks are joining. So hello and welcome to everyone. So I will just wait for more folks to join, and then in couple of minutes I will be starting. So hello Pulkit, hello Akshay, hello Venkat, hello Greenath. So numbers are increasing. It is right now 50. Hi Veera. Hi Dharini. Hi Balu. Good evening. Numbers are increasing. So I'm just waiting for more folks to join because today's topic is very much important. Here we are going to link our admin part with development. So in admin part, we implemented lots of objects. So today we will learn for the first time how those objects we can use in Apex programming. So hello everyone. Hi Nishant, Badal, Divya, Pranay, Venkat. Thank you for appreciating my efforts. Okay, so I think more than 70 folks have joined, so this is a good number. And I know in a few minutes this number will cross more than 200 folks. So if someone didn't join, if you want to remind them, just send a message so that they can also join because today's topic is very much important. So I am just going to tell you like briefly about the beginner slides. So if you have joined or started this bootcamp from today only, so this slide will give you little insight about me, what I do, what I have done, and what certifications I already completed in Salesforce ecosystem. And like from the beginning, from day one, I hope you are following all the learning best practices. So I can see now in Telegram, almost every hour people are discussing doubts. So that is very good. And you are following the practice exercises as well. I can see people are asking doubts. Few folks, those started in the middle, they are doing previous admin things and focusing on the development stuff as well. So keep on doing these things so that you can understand the concepts and you can get ready for the jobs. So this is the important word. I just follow this word properly, like it is consistency. So consistency is the key. So if you want to learn anything, you should be consistent, right? So if you are consistent, then you will be able to do anything. So please do regular practice so that you can learn each and everything in detail. So I am explaining all the things in detail on daily. So you can see how consistent I am. So today is day 34 and I never missed any week. Every week, at least 3 to 4 sessions I am delivering from January itself, and it will go maybe till December. So I am consistent with you. So please consistent with me if you want to really learn Salesforce in proper way. Okay, so today also I will be explaining the topic and we'll do some demonstration and then we'll do Q&A, right? Okay, so this is the bootcamp timeline, and you can see we are in week 9. So in week 9, we are just learning all the fundamentals of Apex, and day by day, things will be complex. So I would request on daily basis, just do proper practice because all the content is available free of cost, and Salesforce Developer Edition or also you can utilize free of cost. So when teacher is available freely, learning is available freely, platform is available for practice freely, and you have time also. So everything is available freely. There is no burden on mind. So I think you can just learn things properly day by day. And if you have not followed any of the platform that is created by me, so just follow immediately and pass this information with other people as well, so that if they know, if they don't know about the bootcamp, so still if they join this bootcamp in this week, so it will be fruitful for them, because every day things will get complex, right? So ask people to join these platforms so that they can also get daily reminders and they can join the sessions on time. And like in return, I just want your support. I just need 100k subscriber by the end of this year. So this is a promise which I did with myself. Like anyhow, I will try my best to have more than 100k subscribers by the end of this year. So I need your support, because without your support I cannot go to achieve that number, right? So I am doing all the dedication for you. I'm giving you all the quality knowledge, right? And I'm giving you this every week. So please support my channel, because right now it is having very less subscribers. So if it this number reaches, so say YouTube will be verifying this channel, and I am going to launch a few more boot camps. Those will be available freely. So if it goes viral, so lots of folks in India and in different countries will be benefited. Thank you, Mayur, for like sending some amount. I will surely buy coffee. So today Navratri started. So after Navratri completes, so we'll surely enjoy. Okay, so let's start the today's topic. And thank you everybody, those who are appreciating. Thank you, Prakash, for blessing me. Okay, so today's topic is how we can use sObject as data type. So I hope everybody know what is sObject. So sObject is basically Salesforce object, right? So we have generally two types of object. One is standard object and one is custom object, right? So now in today's session, we will learn how we can use those sObjects, so that through programming, we can create some records. So right now, what was happening, you were able to create records through UI. Okay, if I take you to Salesforce UI, so if you want to create any record, let's say you want to create account record. So what you will do, you will click on new, and from here, you will be filling all the fields, those you want to fill, and you will click save and new record will be created. Okay, but today I'm going to show you how you can create records through programming, through Apex programming. Okay, so that's why what we are going to do, we will be using sObject as data type. So whatever objects you have created, whether it is custom, so custom objects also you can use as a data type. Okay, so here you can see we have some examples. So first of all, we have standard sObjects account, and different variations are available, like how we can create instance or variable through that sObject. And at the bottom, you can see through custom API, like my obj underscore c is a custom object API name. So if you remember in the admin, I told you, like whenever you are creating any object, so it is having one API name as well. That is a unique name, right? So that unique name is having underscore c. So you can use that this way, right? So let's quickly understand this basic, and then we'll do some hands-on so that we can create proper data with the help of Apex by creating classes. So right now, to understand this feature, I'm just going to open this anonymous window, and in this anonymous window, I will be writing some code. So for example, if you want to use account, right? Account is your sObject. So if I take you here, and if I open setup, so under setup, you will find object manager, and under object manager we have this account object, right? Now here in details you can see we have this API name. So account sObject API name is basically account, right? So you can use it as is. Okay, so here you can see I'm using account. Now ACC. So this ACC can be known as instance or it can be known as variable for that account object. And then you can write new account so that you can initialize it, right? So this is the standard syntax that you need to use. So I hope you remember, like whenever we are creating instance of the class, so we used same syntax. In place of account, we used class name, right? So here we are going to interact with the sObject, so that's why we are using account here. Okay. So now what we can do, we can write acc.name equals to, and here I can provide name of the account. So I'm providing name of account as SGTS, Sanjay Gupta Tech School. And if I want to fill rating, so I'm just filling hot here. So these are the field API. These are the field APIs. Now, if you want to see the field API names, so for name, you can see we have API name as name, right? If I search for rating, so for rating, you can see we have API name as rating. So that I am using here directly. Okay. So if you want to fill values to particular fields, so you can just write those fields individually. Okay. So this way, what we did, we just created instance and then we are trying to fill values into the particular field. Okay. Now, if you want to create a record, so if you want to create a record, so what will happen? You can write insert and then ACC. So this statement will insert a record. Okay. And this record will be inserted into the org, right? So if you want to insert any record, so you just need to use insert statement. So this insert statement will be creating one account record in your org. Okay. Now I'm going to execute this code, right? So I'm just going to click on execute button. Open log option is already checked. So I'm just clicking on execute. So here you can see we are viewing an error message. So if I go here and if I try to create new account by providing some name, so here if I click on save, so you can see we here also receive an error message because active is a required field, right? Active is a required field. So if you try to create any record from code, so those validations apply through code as well. So you can see here the error message showing system.dml exception. So basically insert statement is DML. DML means data manipulation language, right? So insert failed. Now the reason is required field missing. Which field? Active. So this way, if you try to run your code and if there is any error, so Apex will give you lots of suggestions so that you can fix that error, right? So I'm clicking on OK, and here I'm going to write acc.active__c and then yes. Now you might be asking why I used __c with this field. So if I take you here and search for active field, so you can see its API name is basically having __c. So that's why I am using this __c while implementing the code. Okay. So I hope you understood this. Right. So now what you can do, you can just click on execute. So logs will be opened, but logs will be blank if we click on debug only because we didn't use system.debug statement. But if you see here, so all the steps are available, like while inserting account record, whatever step executed in the background. So you can see all the statements are available here. So this is basically your log. And here you can see all the queries related things are available that we will be discussing later on, right? So all the limits. So if you already know little bit about Apex, so you might have heard about governor limits. So these are basically governor limits that you can track. So we will be discussing about it in detail later in the session. So right now I'm not going to explain these complex things initially. So maybe in the next week we will be focusing on these more, right? So I'm just closing it and opening it. So now what I need to do, I need to go to the org, like on the UI, that application, and I'm clicking on accounts. Here you can see this account is created. If I open it, go to details. So here you will be able to see the results. So account name is SGTS, rating is hot. And if I go below, so you can see active is yes. Right, and I think through flow it is having a related contact as well, one opportunity as well. So through flow, record triggered flow, this is happening, right? So through code we created one account record, and on creation of account record our automated processes are also working, right? So Tushar is asking, can we find out programmatically which are mandatory or required fields? So this is the only way, like if you are having any error, so through that error you will be able to identify. Otherwise through like going to object manager or checking through page layout or validation rule, you can just identify whether this field is required or not. Because we can make field required through different ways. So if you want to watch those ways, so you can come to my website, Study Salesforce. So here I have created one video. So you can see we can make field required through these ways. So one, like while creating field, there is one option, like if you want to make that field required. Another is through page layout. Then we can create validation rule, and then we can make the field required through trigger as well. So there are 4 options to make field required. So through code, we won't be able to identify whether field is required or not, because we have these all options. So if you want to learn how we can do these, so number 56 video you can watch. So I can just share the link in the chat so that you can go through with this video. Right, so I hope you understood how we can create a record through code, right? So it was easy, and through anonymous window we understood this. Now I already told you we just use this anonymous window for like executing few lines, but the lines which are implemented in anonymous window, these lines won't be saved permanently because a file is not created. So if you want to create a file and you want to store your data permanently into a file, so you will be creating a class, and in that class you can just add all these statements. So I'm just copying these lines from here, closing anonymous window, and I'm going to create new class, right? And I'm naming this class as account record and clicking on OK. So this way this class is created. Class name you can use anything. Then here you need to write a method public static void insert data, and here inside curly braces you can paste the code. Now after pasting the code, if you want to align this code properly, so what you can do, you can just press Ctrl A so that all the code will be selected, and then press Shift plus Tab. So first of all Ctrl plus A, so your whole code will be selected, and then you just need to press Shift plus Tab, so it will be aligned properly. Okay, so here this code is available. If you run this code now, so I hope everybody knows how to run static method, because in previous class we already discussed it. Okay, so here I'm going to add few different values, hot, warm, and I'm leaving it as is, and account name is SGTS2. I just modified it because I just want to run this code as well. So I'm just saving this. So this class is saved. Now moving to anonymous window. Here I'm going to write account record dot insert data. So if I run this line number 9, if I run this, if I just click on execute highlighted, so that method which we implemented inside the class, that will be executed. So I'm just clicking on execute highlighted. So here logs are available, right? So we don't need to focus on this much. We just need to go here, refresh the tab, and here you will see one more record. So you can see SGTS2 is created. If I open this, go to details. So here rating is warm, right? Account name is available and active is yes. And here also in the related list, you can see contact opportunities are created, right? Yes, so Amit is saying, like, can we put this name, rating, active in the static method parameter? So this is nice suggestion. So what we can do, we can receive these values as a parameter. So here I can write string name, then string rating, then string active, right? And here I will be writing name. Here I will be writing rating. Here I will be writing active. So whatever values are available in these parameters, they will be assigned to these name, rating, and active field. And these values you will be receiving from method call. Right, so I'm just opening it, and from here I'm going to pass the data. So SGTS3, then rating hot, and active I'm passing as yes. So this way you can pass the parameters, and those parameters will be received here in this line, right? And they will be assigned. So let's execute this statement. So it is executed. Now moving here, refreshing the tab. So you can see SGTS3 is also created with rating hot and active yes. So this is another way so that you can just set the data. So through this way, you can set different data every time whenever you will be calling the method. Okay. So what I did, I just explained you this first requirement. So right now we are discussing how we can use standard object as data type. Okay. So now we have one more requirement where we need to create account as well as we need to create related contact. But we, like yesterday, someone asked me, can we call one method of a class into another method? So right now I'm going to explain you how we can call one method of a class into another, right? So Vamshi is asking, do we need to use this near field API name? So no, this name can be anything. This name, rating, and active, this can be anything, but I am using relevant name so that you can relate, right? But here you can use any name as a parameter name. Okay, but it should be relevant. Yes, Mayur, we can use extensions for API names. So I think I just showed you one extension. So Salesforce Inspector, I just showed you like how you can add it. And if you go here, so you can just click on show all data. So here you can just find all the field APIs, label, type, everything will be available. You can just see the data as well. So from here also you can just pick the API names quickly. You don't need to go to Object Manager. From here you can just pick the data. Other extensions are also available, so you can use them as well. Okay. So now I'm going to create one more method, and there was one question yesterday, what is this void and why we are using this void. So today I'm going to tell you the place. Like void is basically return type, and it is indicating this insert data method is not returning anything. But right now we are going to return something through this method, right? So data type I am writing as ID, and what I'm going to return from here, I'm going to return acc.id. Okay. So here I just mentioned a comment. So just read this comment carefully. So what I want to say, whenever this account record is inserted through this ACC variable, so after insertion, the ID of that newly created account record will be available into this ACC. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to return this account ID. So that's why this ID. So this ID is basically now a return type. Okay, what we are trying to do, we are trying to return ID through this method. Okay, so now I'm going to create one more method, public static void insert contact. Okay, here I'm creating ID, ACC ID. So ID is primitive data type, and I'm creating a variable ACC ID. Now I'm going to call the method ACCID equals to insert data, and here I'm going to pass these values. So I'm just copying and pasting them here, and here I'm passing 4, right? Then I'm creating contact con equals to new contact, right? So for contact we already know, like for contact we have one field that is required, which is last name. So now I'm going to show you one more thing. So if you want to initialize field APIs with some value, so those you can write in this parenthesis as well. So let's say first name equals to contact 101, and last name I am assigning as con 201, right? So this I just randomly use these names, and what we need to do, we need to assign account ID as well. So I am writing account ID equals to ACC ID, right? So that the newly created contact will be linked with the account that we are creating in the above method. Okay, so this way what we are trying to do, through this method we are trying to receive ID here. Okay, so this insert data method is written above. We are calling it here in this insert contact method, and we are passing these values. So account will be created, and that newly created account ID will be available into this ACC ID, and that ACC ID we are assigning into this account ID, so that the newly created contact will automatically link with that account. And here I'm going to write insert con. Okay, so this way one more method is implemented, and I hope you understood the place where we used to write void. So here I am writing ID so that ID can be returned. So we are using this keyword. Return is a keyword which can return value from one method to another method, and whatever value we are returning, that will be received here with this ACC ID, line number 15. Okay, so now what we need to do, we just need to call this insert contact. So insert contact will be calling insert data first. So insert data is basically inserting account. So what we can do, we can just rename it to insert account. So here also we need to rename insert account. Okay, so that it should be meaningful. So we are calling insert account, account will be inserted, and then contact will be inserted, and both will be linked as well. Now I'm just saving it, moving here, So I'm just searching for flows so that I can deactivate existing flows. So I'm clicking on Flow Trigger Explorer. So on account we have these flows active. So I am going to deactivate these flows. Okay, I am just refreshing it so I can verify whether it is active or inactive. So it is inactive, right? So on account creation, we don't have any active flow which will be creating any contact or opportunity. Okay, so this is done. Now we just need to call this insert contact method. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to call it. So insert contact, and here I'm passing nothing. So what will happen? It will create one account with SGTS4 and one related contact as well. So I'm clicking on execute highlighted. So it is executed. Now moving here, refreshing accounts. So you can see SGTS4 is created. I'm clicking on it, moving to details. So you can see rating is hot and active is yes. If I go to related, so here one contact is created and contact first name and last name is same that we provided in the code. So while you will be implementing, so you can just use meaningful first name and last name so that you can just relate those things. Okay, so Shivani is asking what is this con.account ID? So this is a lookup field. Here, this account ID is lookup to account. So whenever we create any contact, so we have a lookup to account. So through programming, we are just filling that. Right, so this ACC ID is the account ID. We are just passing that account ID into this account ID field, that is lookup. So that newly created contact will be linked to that account automatically. Right, so I hope you understood this requirement, and like I already told you, day by day things will be little bit complicated. So you just need to do regular practice so that you can understand the things very well. And these things are very easy, but the thing is you just need to do regular practice, then only you will be able to understand. Okay, now what I'm going to do you, what I'm going to explain to you. So I will be creating account with related contact and opportunity in a single method. Right? So right now what I did, I just called this method insert account, which is available here, into another method. Now I'm going to create one more method. So I'm just copying it, pasting here. So insert account with contact and opportunity, right? So I'm just trying to create one method which will be creating account followed by contact and opportunity, right? And I will be receiving data as a parameter. So here after this comment, I'm going to write some statements. So I'm just copying them from here, pasting it. So in a single method, you can do this. So what is happening here? First, we are trying to create account, and here you can just write void because we don't want to return it. So you can just remove this, and here instead of ACC ID, we can use ACC.ID because this ACC variable is available in this method only. So in a single method, we created account. The newly created account ID will be available into this ACC. So we are passing that ACC.ID into this account ID lookup. Then we are creating contact. Now we need to create opportunity. So opportunity OPP equals to new opportunity. Then on opportunity, we have three required fields: name, close date, and stage. So I'm filling all. So opportunity name is OPP 101. Then OPP dot close date equals to, so here I am writing system dot today. So system is a class and today is a function that I am using here. So if you want to use current date, if you want to fetch current date in the program or in the Apex code, you can just write system.today. So this you can just remember whenever you need date. So you can directly write system.today. And then we have stage. So stage name equals to, and here you can write prospecting. Okay. Now again, opportunity we also want to link with account. So account ID, opp.account ID equals to acc.id. So above you can see through this insert ACC we will be receiving account ID. So we are mapping it here as well while creating contact, and we are mapping it with opportunity as well. Now I can write insert OPP. So with this method, the method which we created here, with this method, 3 records will be created. So first account will be created, then contact, related contact will be created, and then opportunity will be created. And the contact and opportunity that we are creating, both will be linked with that account. Okay, so now I'm going to save this code and I will be calling this method in the anonymous window, and I will be passing name, rating and active so that values will be available so that new account will be created. So here I'm writing this method name. Okay, I will be passing the data. Okay, so account name I am passing as SGTS5, rating hot and yes. So I'm just selecting this statement because I just want to run this, and I don't want to open the log because I'm not using logs as of now. Logs will be created, but I don't want to open them directly, right? So if you don't want to open the logs, you can just uncheck this checkbox. So unchecking means logs will be there, but won't be open automatically. Okay. So I'm just clicking on execute highlighted. So it is executed. Now I'm going here and I'm going to refresh the tab. So this 5 is created. If I go to details, so here I can see values are available, and you can see contact is created and opportunity is created. And on opportunity close date, you can see it is today's date. Right? So this way we can have this code. So through programming, we are trying to create records. Okay, so few folks are asking how we can provide dynamic date or days after 20 days. So for that, you can use date literal. So I'm just going to show you how you can search. So we have date literals in Salesforce. So if you open this link, so here you will find everything. Okay, so here we have these things. So for yesterday, you can use yesterday, today, tomorrow, last week, this week. So these are the literals that you can use directly. So we will be using them later on, but if you want to research, so you can just go through with this document. It is very useful and it is publicly available by the Salesforce for reference purpose. So I'm just going to provide this in the chat so that you can also go through. Okay, now this I am leaving for you, like how we can create related contact, opportunity and case. So I'm not going to demo because you just need to create one more record that is related to case. So what I'm going to do, I'm just putting it for your practice. So it will be for self practice. So I'm just modifying this document for you. So what you need to do, you just need to practice this. Only one. right? So what you will be doing, you will be creating a separate method, and in that method first you will create account, then related contact, related opportunity, and related case. Okay, so you will be modifying this method. So what you can do, just copy this method and paste it, and then add the case related statements also. And someone is saying, Ajay is saying, like, can we use list? Yes, we can use list, but right now we have not studied list. So tomorrow we'll be understanding list, then set, then map, and then together I will show you how we can use those collection data types so that we can create n number of records together. Okay, and few questions I have not picked, so after explanation I will be picking them. So I think now there's how we can utilize standard object functionality you understood, right? So now what we need to do, we need to understand how we can apply this functionality for custom objects, right? So I just forgot to remove it from here. So I'm removing it from here because I didn't explain it in the demo, but you will be doing self practice for this. Okay. So now let's do some exercise for custom object as well. Okay. So I will be explaining you how we can create position record, then candidate record. So let's jump here, and I'm going to create new class now. So custom sObject demo, right? So here I am creating one method, public static void create position. Okay, so here I will be writing the code so that you will be able to understand. So we need to write position underscore c, pos equals to new position underscore c, and then you can initialize this at like way. You can initialize it this way. So this position underscore c is our API. So how you can verify? Just go to object manager, search for position object, and here you can find the API name, position underscore c. So for those folks who didn't join admin related sessions, so they might be thinking, what is this position? So it is our part of project. So we did a project which was related to admin. So those who just started development sessions and they know admin, so just go through this project and implement this in your org. This project is basically reference of some Trailhead data model that I just customized as per the latest features. So if you go through this project, so you will be able to understand all the object model which is available here. So all these objects you need to create so that you can understand, because while understanding Apex, so like few times I will be taking examples of custom objects. So you should be aware. So just go through, and if you can implement it, that will be like good for you. And all the steps I demonstrated in the sessions. So that playlist is available here. You can just go through with all the videos if you want to see the implementation. And if you get stuck somewhere, you can just go through the videos and you can just find the solution. So in this document, we have everything, right? If I take you, so this is the data model that you need to create. Then we have reports and dashboard. We have profiles and permission sets. We have sharing things. We have data import wizard, data loader exercises. We have formula, validations, approval process. Then few flow related scenarios are also available. Okay, so if you have not gone through, you can go through. Okay, now with standard object implementation, I showed you like through two different ways we can provide values to fields. One is this, like with this parameter we can fill the value, and one is like in separate lines we can provide the values. So generally we prefer to provide values in separate lines if you want to fill lots of fields. But if you want to provide values to one or two fields, then you can use this parenthesis as well. Right? So like here you can see For this contact, we just need to initialize two fields. So we just provided values here. And for one, we provided here as well. Okay, so this also I can just shift inside this parenthesis after comma. I can just cut and paste it here, so that way it also works. And if you want to write first name and last name in separate lines, so that is also possible. You can do that. Okay, so here we need to provide values to position fields. So I'm going here and just checking the fields, or I think it will be better if we open the recruitment app. So under recruitment tab, we have positions tab. So I'm just clicking here, clicking on new. So from here, we will be able to find. So here you can see we have record types as well. And these are the fields which are available for this technical position record type, and position name is required field. So if I go here and search for name, so position name API is name. So what I need to do, I need to write pos.name equals to, and let's say I am writing MuleSoft developer. So this is my position that I wrote, and the record which will be created, that record's position name will be MuleSoft developer. Right? So now I'm just writing insert position. So I didn't provide record type. So let's provide record type as well. So here basically we need to provide record type ID. So right now what I'm going to do, I will be providing record type as hard coded ID, but that is not the best practice. So best practice says you need to query the record type ID and then you can provide that here. But right now I have not explained you how we can apply queries in Apex. So we can query the data in Apex, but right now we don't know about that. So at the moment, what I'm going to do, I'm just fetching the record type ID manually. So I just opened this technical position record type, and in the URL I can see the ID. I'm just copying it and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so again I'm repeating the statement. This is not a best practice, but right now we don't know how to query the records. So when we'll be learning SOQL, Salesforce Object Query language, then I will show you how you can query this ID dynamically, right? So that dynamically queried ID we will be filling into this field. But right now we don't know, so that's why I'm just writing it as hard coded. And I'm going to insert it, so I'm just saving this code. Now here I'm going to call it. So our class name is this. So I'm copying and pasting it here. Our method name is this. So I'm copying and pasting it here. And I'm going to call this method. So I just selected this statement and clicking on execute highlighted. Right, so I just clicked on execute highlighted, so no error. It means a record is created successfully. So if I go here and refresh this tab, so you can see MuleSoft developer record is created. If I open this, so here you can see it is having record type as well, technical position. And here you can see date, it is having today's date. Okay, so this way through code I am able to create position record as well. So this demonstration I did so that you can understand we can create records for custom objects as well. So Dharini is asking what is Apex exact meaning. So Dharini, you need to watch the Monday's video, that is day 32. And there I explained like Apex is a programming language of Salesforce. If you want to do any operation through code like creation of record, updation of record, deletion of record, so for that purpose you will be using Apex programming. So right now we are just getting familiar how we can use this Apex programming for backend development. Right, so in today's session what we are learning how we can create records with the help of sObjects. So here you can see we are using position. So this position underscore underscore C is a data type here. Actually it is sObject, but that sObject we are using here as a data type. Okay, so the agenda for today's session is how, like, to learn how we can use sObjects as a data type in Apex programming. Okay, now I'm going to create one more method. So next method says to create candidate record. So public static void create candidate, and here I'm going to write object API. So I just need to search it. So we have candidate object and API name is candidate underscore underscore C. So I'm just copying it and I'm pasting it here, equals to can, then new, and then paste the API again, then parenthesis. Now here you will be filling values to fields. So I'm going to open this object, moving to fields and relationships. Okay, before that I'm going here on the UI and clicking on candidates, clicking on new, so that I can see if there is any required field. So I don't see any required field. I have first name, last name, and other fields. So I'm going to fetch their API names. So for first name, API name is first name underscore underscore C. Okay, so here candidate and can dot last name. So last name will be available. So sometimes these suggestions will be available, so you can pick from here as well. And I'm entering 201. So this way I just provided first name and last name, then writing insert can. Okay, so one more method is created, and if I run this method, so candidate record will be created. So I'm just saving this method. Now here I'm going to call create candidate. So selecting this line, clicking on execute highlighted. So here I can see this candidates tab, and I'm just refreshing. So I think we have lots of record and latest is number 4. So I'm going to open it, moving to details. So here you can see first name is candidate and last name is 201, and it is created today. Date is available. Right? Okay, so I hope you understood how we can create records through this custom object. So custom object API we are using as a data type. Okay, so I just want to request everybody, those who really want to learn Apex programming, so you need to be consistent, you need to have faith in yourself. So just think like I can learn if I do practice. So initially it will be difficult for you if you are from non IT background, but just give it a try. It is very simple, right? So in last 2 sessions we understood how we can create methods, classes, and today we are just implementing this business logic, which is kind of similar for each and every method. We are just changing the object APIs, we are changing field APIs, and rest of the process is same. So when you will be implementing this at your own, you will be having enough confidence. And here we don't need to use system.debug, because whatever record we are inserting, that we can verify through the UI, through the application, because actually record are inserting under our object, and that we can check under the application. Right? So I hope like with this motivational words, you will be able to do practice consistently, right? Okay, so this way these 2 methods are created, and I think you are able to understand it quite well. So now we have one more thing, that is create job application record. Okay, so here we if you see job application, so job application, if I try to create new job application, so I need two values, candidate and position. These are lookups. These are lookups. So one is lookup to candidate, another is lookup to position. And then we have cover letter and status, right? So here I'm going to search for job application so that I can pick the API. So here we have the API that we can use. So I'm just copying it. And here I'm going to implement one more method. So public static void create job application, right? And I hope you remember, like yesterday I discussed about the naming convention. So for this method I am using first word totally small and second word first letter is capital, job J capital, and application A is capital. Right? Create candidate, create is small and candidate C is capital. Then similarly create position. And if we talk about class, so each word's first letter should be capital. And if you go here, so you can see the naming convention. So whenever you do practice, then also you should apply proper naming convention, because being a Salesforce consultant, Salesforce developer, to apply naming convention is very much important. Right? So you need to apply proper naming convention. So you can see in my code, proper naming convention is available, no matter whatever method name I'm using. So here insert is small, account A capital with W capital, con C capital and A capital, O capital. So this way you will be writing naming convention. You will be following the naming convention. Right? Now for create job application, we need all this. So I'm just copying it, pasting it here. I'm copying it, pasting it after this. Right? Now we will be copying this API and I'm going to paste it after this. Then JA equals to new job application, right? Now what we need to do, JA dot, now job application. So we need to open it. So under this job application, under fields and relationship, so here you can see we have position. So I just need to copy this API position underscore underscore C that I'm going to use here, equals to pos.id. Then JA dot, so candidate is available. So I'm going to use can.id. So this way, this is a new method which I am creating, and here first position will be created, then candidate record will be created, and that position and candidate that will be created will be linked with this job application automatically. And here I can write status as well as new, and then insert JA, job application. So this way I hope you can understand how we can write lengthy code. So it is very easy now. First we are creating position, then we are creating candidate, then we are creating job application. Inside job application we have two lookup, one for position, one for candidate. So we are just setting the IDs so that newly created job application will be linked to those position and candidate records. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this, and I'm just explaining this in very detail. So I bet on this, no one, whether they are doing recorded videos, whether they are doing paid sessions, paid bootcamps, or any edtech company, so no one will be explaining you in this detail. And I'm doing this for free, right? So just spread this word with everybody, those who want to learn programming from the scratch, right? Because I'm just trying to create this platform so easy so that everybody at least can give programming a try, right? And there is only one way to learn programming, that is consistent practice. So if you do consistent practice, then only you will be able to understand this, right? So I hope with this example, you will be able to relate what is happening here. I'm just saving this code. Now I'm going to copy this. So here I'm doing little bit change. So here I'm writing SFDC developer, and candidate number I'm saving as 301, so that we can recognize whether new position and candidate is created or not. And we'll see a job application is created or not. Okay. So I'm just saving this. Now here I'm pasting the method name, and I'm going to select it so that only this statement will be executed. So here I'm just clicking on execute highlighted. So you can see the code is executed. Now what we need to do, we need to go to UI. So here I'm doing a refresh. So you can see 4 job applications are available. I'm just refreshing it. So there will be 5. 5th is created right now, and you can see position is SFDC developer. So if I open this job application, I can see the data. So candidate is created. If I open that candidate, so candidate 301, and you can see the date. Always verify the date, whether you created this record today or it is like existing, so that you can verify whether things are working fine or not. Then go back to job application, click on SFDC developer. So here also you can see record is created today. Right? So this way we are able to create 3 records together, and those 3 records are connected as well. Okay, so I hope you are able to understand this. Now we need to create review record. So what we need to do, just after this, we can add a few more steps so that review record will be created automatically. So I'm going to do it for you. So here I'm going to search for review. So its API name is review__C. So I'm going to use it. Okay, now we need to check what all fields we can fill for review. So if I open any job application, go to related. So here we have review. So on review, we need job application, and rating is required, right? So I just need to populate rating here. So what I'm going to do, first of all, rv dot, we need ID of that lookup field. So lookup to job application is this. So I'm just copying it and pasting it here. Okay. Then equals to and ja.id. So above job application which we are creating, that job application ID will go to this review, so that newly created review will be related to that job application. Okay. And here what I'm going to write, rv.rating equals to 5. Right? So I think rating is number. So you can just directly write 5 here and then insert rv. Okay. So this way, position, candidate, job application, and review, all 4 records will be created together. So now I'm going to change it. So now what I need SFDC architect. Then candidate I am putting as 401, right? So that we can just verify the data. I'm just saving it. Then from here I need to run this method because I didn't change the name of that method. So I'm clicking on execute highlighted. It is executed. Moving here on the UI. So I'm just moving to job application. So you can see one more job application is created. If I open this number 6, so it is having candidate 6. Candidate 6, position SFDC architect, and you can see it is created today. It is having one rating as well. Why rating? Through review. So review is created, and review is created for this candidate, for this position. Rating is 5. If I open this review record and go to created by, so here you can see this is today's date. Okay, so this way you can just open all the records that you are creating through this code so that you will be able to understand. So this way, I hope you are able to understand whatever I explained today. So this was very important session, and today I hope you understood how we can use sObjects as a data type in Apex. Okay, so now I'm just opening this platform so that you can ask questions. So I'm just scrolling this chat to back. So just hold on with me if you have asked any question. So I will try to answer this question, whatever you have asked. No need to type your questions again. So I will be picking questions one by one. So it will take around 30 to 40 minutes to answer all the questions. So be with me, have patience. And I just want to thank Firas for donating small amount. So thank you for that. And I cannot share UPI ID because this you are doing with your own wish. So I don't want to share any UPI forcefully. So if you wish, you can just share some amount through super chat. If you don't want to, then that is also okay. Because I'm not doing this like this boot camp to have money from you, right? So like I don't, I just want your presence, and if you learn, if you do certification, if you get a job, so that will be like return for me. And just share this channel. I just want support so that I can have lots of subscribers, so that I can make this platform a bigger platform. So I'm just taking questions now. So few questions I already answered, I think. So someone is asking, he's working as an admin with some package, and yeah. So first you need to learn Apex, then only you can go directly. You can go with LWC, because in LWC you will be using Apex programming as well. So you need to learn the backend development, and then it will be easy for you to understand LWC. So VV Babu is asking why we create separate class if we use anonymous window again to execute. So like classes we are creating so that our code will be saved permanently, right? And in anonymous window we are just calling that method through one line, right? So without anonymous window right now we cannot run that code. Later on we will be using Apex trigger to execute that method, right? So Manan, in class, basically you need to write methods, then only you can just run those methods. In class, you cannot write code directly. So I'm just checking questions, so be with me. So Minakshi is asking acc.id and accid. So accid, I just created a variable, but accid where I just used, so that was through different variables. So right now both are different. So Manan, we cannot insert record using class. We need to create method for that. So Ketan is asking, can we add account ID parameter while creating contact instance? So I already did. So for date, I already explained, like you can use date literals, and we in upcoming sessions we will be using that as well. Yes, Firis, we can create several records that doesn't have relationship with each other. So like with position and candidate, you might have realized that. So Soji asking, can we use cron expression? We can use cron expressions. So you just need to learn about that, then you will be able to use those. Yes, Sachin, I will be explaining list from tomorrow. Like tomorrow's session will be totally dedicated for list. Then we'll understand set, and then we'll be understanding map. So Sanjeev, I cannot give the access. So docs are available in view mode. So you just need to use them as is. So few folks are asking like line number 7 insert. So insert is basically DML statement. So we will be understanding DML in detail later on. So right now what you can understand, DML statements are basically for data manipulation purpose. So if you want to insert, update, delete, undelete any record, so those statements are basically known as insert statement. Sorry, DML statement. So right now we are using one DML statement, that is insert, right? So if you are inserting a record, so that record will be available under your application. So that's why we are not using system.debug, because we can check the like results on the UI. Rohit is asking to teach me in Hindi. So Rohit, actually this bootcamp is for whole world. People from outside India also watching, and people are from South also, they don't know Hindi properly. So that's why I'm teaching in English only. And after joining any company, you will be working and you will be like interacting with your clients and team in English. So I'm just using very simple English. I don't know, I'm not expert in English. I just know basic English, and that I'm using, right? And maybe after the end of this bootcamp, so I can have separate bootcamp for the Hindi audience, that I can do. And as Emia suggested, you can just watch this video slowly so that you can understand and you can implement. Yes, Soji, Apex is case insensitive, right? So someone is asking to tell Apex testing parallelly. So right now I cannot explain Apex testing. So first we'll complete Apex basics, then we'll do trigger, and then I will tell you how we can do Apex testing. Yes, I will explain Apex testing, but first let me create a base. So just go with me. I know how to teach. You just have to learn. After the bootcamp, you will be having enough confidence with you. No need to worry. Thank you, Akshay. That's what I was discussing. Like after spending money, you won't be getting such sessions. So please share the word with people so that they can also join and get benefited. So Pooja, I already explained what is the use of static in yesterday's session. Void, I already explained, like it is return type. And return keyword basically we use when we want to throw or return a value from one method to another. Okay, Sachin, I will try to increase the limit. So I think it is by default set by YouTube. So I will try if I can increase the character limit beyond 200. So Sam is asking, if the API is static method, then we can access directly. How we get to know? I didn't get your question. Can you little bit elaborate? Thank you, Sashi, for appreciating. So Saji, you are asking, can we use return keyword in sObject? So return keyword basically we are using inside the method. So it is related to method. If one method want to return any value, so if you want to return any sObject, then you can use that sObject as a return type. So we'll be using that later on, right? Yes, so Satya, you want if you want to calculate age from date of birth, so you can just subtract date of birth from today, system.today. So system.today minus whatever is your date of birth, so you will be having date, sorry, your age. Thank you, Samir, for appreciating my efforts. Thank you, Aparna, for me, like considering me your godfather. So I'm just trying to help community as much as I can. So if you are considering me a good person, so I'm happy and obliged. Thank you, Vishal, for appreciating, and I'm happy like you are learning through my efforts. Yes, Mary, you need to study a lot. So, like, make a proper schedule after this session. At least you need to do 1 hour practice, then you will be able to understand. Thank you, Mayur, for appreciating. Yes, Manoj, after attending map session, you won't be saying this because I will be explaining map in very detail. So I will take 1 hour to explain map only. So you will be able to understand. Yes, Mary. So I just shared that information with the people. Like there is some people who are sending wrong emails. So just avoid that. Thank you, Vikash, for appreciating. So Manoj, don't worry about map. We'll discuss. Yes, Sam, for static method, we will not create instance. So that is helpful. Yes, Rekha, I will be explaining other DML operations. So if you see the session tracker, so you will get the answer of your question. So Satya, if you are getting errors, so just follow the Telegram group. So I'm just sharing the link with you. You can just join that group so that if you face any difficulty, you can just join that group. And I have very good people in that group. They are helping each other. So Pooja, for that I will try to have deployment related sessions. So, but they will be after the development related sessions. So practice sheet is available in the description of this video. So I am just sharing that link as well. So this is the link of exercise sheet that I'm going to share with you. So Mayur, we cannot create sandbox in dev.org. It is not allowed. Thank you, Revati, for appreciating my efforts. So just a request, please help me to reach 100K subscribers. This is the only expectations of mine from you. So just share this channel with all the WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, and ask people to join. And I already told you I am planning to start cybersecurity bootcamps soon. So it will be somewhere in April. So those who are cybersecurity enthusiasts, just share that knowledge with them and have them connected with the platform so that they will be notified with that. And try to link college students as well. So I know you are connected with your colleges because if you are working in some company or fresher, so you are alumni of your college. So if you are connected with your juniors, so just share this link with them as well. So because cybersecurity is common for everyone, whether they are students learning, they are fresher, experienced candidate, so everybody can be benefited. So Marpu, if you scroll down to bottom, so this is not admin, it is both admin as well as development. So if you scroll down, you will find date 32, 33, 34. Those are having development related exercises. Okay, so if you have more questions, so you can go ahead and ask. Otherwise, I will be ending this session. So I think we had a good time today, and I hope this session was fruitful for you. So just share the word with everybody so that more people can be benefited. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining today's session. I appreciate your time. Thank you. See you tomorrow.